Hello, everyone. I'm Captain Logan, and welcome to another episode of Spooky Mania. It's our second day for our 10-day series here right at the end of October. I've got Austin once again, and John is joining us this time for Child's Play 2, which is my first pick in our Halloween series here. And Austin, you know what's really nice about horror movies? They're short.
Everything. That is true. That is true.
We're doing these manias, and I'm used to 2.5, 3 hours because the last thing we did was DCEU. We had one movie that was 4 straight hours. I think John was here for that
Yeah, I was.
when we did the
That was his
snot.
first video. Not.
Yeah,
Oh,
but but I'm looking at the runtimes for a lot of these, and they're like an hour and a half.
Hmm. Yeah. No, and tomorrow's one we'll have to figure out because that is a director's cut, and I don't know which one we should watch yet. But I guess I'll look to see what is like available, and then kind of go from there.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that. Because I didn't even realize there were multiple cuts of that.
Oh yeah, that I'll really get into that tomorrow. But yeah,
Oh, is that a Blade Runner situation?
kind of, I guess. I mean, I don't know as much about Blade Runner, but it's definitely studio audience movie.
I just
Or
mean Blade Runner has
test
a lot of
audience.
cuts. That's all I mean.
Oh yeah.
They just
Anyways,
kept coming back with more of them. But
Yeah.
since Austin brought that up, tomorrow night we're doing Little Shop of Horrors, which I've never seen, and we'll be doing that with Jason, which will be interesting.
yeah, I think you'll dig that.
So, John, why did you want to come on for Child's Play 2? John just insisted.
I did. No, slashers are my favorite subgenre of horror. The Child's Play franchise is probably my second favorite of the big franchises. I think the only movie in this series that I don't like is 3. I think 3 is a misstep.
Yeah, it is. It's not
Um,
good.
It's not good. And I've been
But
meaning
it's
to
got
watch
Jimmy Olsen from Lois and Clark, so that's something.
Isn't he not Andy?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say, does he at least die? But I guess not.
Yeah, no, he's the main character.
And out of the ones that was on the schedule, this is the one I knew I'd be free for, and yeah.
Well, I'm glad it worked out because I knew you were a big fan of this franchise. Is this
Yeah,
your
I actually
favorite?
have all of them.
Yeah, you told me about that release. I'm jealous of that. That is cool. I don't actually own this movie. I had to rent this one, and I'm gonna need to buy it at some point. I went and looked at my because I don't collect a lot of horror movies. I don't go back to a lot of horror movies. Just not my genre. And I went and looked at my movie collection, and I have the first one, but for some reason I don't have this. And if I was only gonna own one, it'd be this one.
Yeah, you would think. I would think that. I would have thought that you'd own this.
It was
But
cheap
John and I
somewhere,
are.
I assume.
We are like the dichotomy of horror fans, where we both are obsessed with horror. But he's a Child's Play guy, and I'm a Leprechaun guy. So we're in opposition, like sports teams.
Oh, that's fun. I've never heard anybody utter the sentence, I'm a leprechaun guy.
I like the Leprechaun movies. I just prefer the Child's Play movies.
And I've got no
Leprechaun's
dog in it
wonderful.
because I've never seen those. But what's funny is people will usually argue over the kind of arguably three bigger slasher franchises, right? Like you're a Halloween person, or you're a Nightmare person, or you're a Friday person. And I don't know that Child's Play is really in the mix. That seems like the redheaded stepchild, where like it's popular, but I don't feel like it comes up in the
It's
same
like the
conversation so much.
It's like the fourth if you're gonna get beyond the big three.
Yeah.
It's usually the fourth one.
That's why I said redheaded stepchild. It doesn't, almost literally, because it doesn't quite make the Trinity.
Yeah. Leprechaun's like the ninth one in this conversation, but
Scream is probably in there.
yeah, Scream and Child's Play are like probably like the two that are just kind of inching in.
Maybe vying for fourth place. Is there another one, John, that we're not thinking of that should be maybe be? Is there a trinity of movies that don't quite make the Trinity? Is there like a lesser Trinity?
Not in
Would you-
slashers, because So slashers are weird that they kind of start dying out, when you're getting into the 90s, and then Scream kind of brings it back. And you had a couple of underground genre or franchises in the early 2000s. If I had to say anything, I guess Terrifier, because those have been picking up popularity lately.
John, there was an obvious answer.
Recently.
What am I forgetting?
It's Texas Chainsaw
That's what I was
Massacre,
gonna
the
say.
second worst franchise of all time.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which inches in because it has one amazing film that like launches it into conversation.
Yeah, you're right. I overthought that a little bit.
You fraud. Well, and 2 is pretty fun, but outside of that.
And obviously there's other big horror franchises, but they're not exactly slashers. I mean, you could almost say Psycho, I guess. Like, it's got sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Psycho 2 is pretty good. I haven't seen the other ones yet.
But like, obviously, The Exorcist is not a slasher franchise. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The other worst franchise of all time, Hellraiser.
Yeah, Hellraiser's not really slashers either.
No, they try to make it one with 3, and then they're all like straight to DVD after 4. So
really?
They're all just kind of crap.
Yeah.
Tom Atkins
That's where Scott Derrickson gets the start.
Tom Atkins says the Child's Play franchise is the most consistent in quality for the big slasher franchises. I'm not as adept at or I don't know as much as you guys, but from my limited viewing, that seems to be the case. Because I've not seen the Friday movies, but I have seen all of Halloween and most of Nightmare, and I agree with that. If we're just basing it on those franchises.
I'd agree with that.
This, I think I've seen every movie once, with maybe the exception of, I don't know if I saw Bride of Chucky, but I saw the sequels to it. I think maybe I did finally watch that at one point. I can't remember. One of them was newer at one point. I was like, I didn't see the one before it, but I'll go ahead and try this. And then maybe I went back. I think that happened. And then I saw the pilot for the TV show, but I've never finished it. Say again?
That's probably Curse and Cult.
Yeah, I've seen both of those. I know for sure. And then Bride's a question mark. I'm not sure if I've ever actually watched it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I when I started collecting these, like collecting 4Ks again, Scream Factory had just announced these, so I managed to get all 7 of them.
That is a cool looking.
Now I just got to get the show.
Release. Yeah, I saw the show at Walmart tonight, and it's got a nice release.
Something that does make me laugh about this. So this is they came with 2 slipcovers. Since this is an alternate one, it doesn't have like the back with the description. Just has a picture of Chucky. He looks confused.
He's like, "Why am I here?"
Yeah.
Why'd you put on the secondary cover? I also just wanted to throw out too, there's someone in the chat, Manifesting Fear, who is brand new and says, hello, I'm new, I wanted to introduce myself. And they're obsessed with horror, so hello to you, newbie.
Well, welcome, thanks for being here, and I hope you enjoy the next 9 days of content, and then we'll probably never see you again.
Oof.
Well, because we're not a horror channel.
No, we'll see you next year for if we do more.
Oh yeah, he'll just come back every year for this series because we're talking about bringing this back each year. Hopefully that works out. I'll read the super chat real quick and then we'll get into the movie. Middy's Blow $5 super chat. After years of hearing you mention it, I finally watched We're Back, a Dinosaur Story. I feel like I'm owed a personal request stream of my choosing, just because you had to sit through that. Well, Austin and I were greatly entertained by that movie when we did that.
That's a big part of my childhood, is that movie.
I loved that movie as a kid, and now I'm scared to go back.
I think we should come back to it at some point and do it for the main channel.
Mm-hmm.
Or do it
Absolutely.
public on the
that
channel.
Movie is fascinating.
Yeah, we could do that just for a weird blind stream again at some point, or we could do some kind of animation mania and throw it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. Or if we have a hiatus, we can come back with that.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing Disney Renaissance, and it might be fun to do a follow up of like the lesser random '90s animated movies that aren't Disney, and like pick 10 of those. I don't know what we'd call it, but I think that could be really fun because that would finally be my chance to force you to sit through Brave Little Toaster, which I've always wanted to do. Which I think Disney distributed, but they didn't make, and it's obviously not part of the Renaissance, so it would count in this. But we can do like All Dogs Go to Heaven and Fern
I love
Gully.
Don Bluth. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds good to me.
that'd be great. All right, let's watch this movie. It seems like everybody's already about to like ready to go to sleep before we've even started this this commentary. You guys wake up! We're doing a commentary.
I'm ready. I'm focused. Okay.
Make sure that you've got your film, however you're going to watch it, DVD, Blu-ray, Amazon rental. If you happen to have Peacock, it's streaming there right now. Get it at timestamp 0 past any menus and get ready to press play when I say now. You should be looking at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 37 seconds. But I'm pretty sure there's only one cut of this. And here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
Somebody in the chat had mentioned it, but something else that makes this franchise kind of stand out is it's all written by one person, Don Mancini, who also worked on the show. And it's kind of interesting how he's been able to navigate the different decades. And from memory, he's kind of kept a consistent lore and like world building.
Well, there's definitely like an element of if something's there, he'll accept it, but they definitely more so as they go on make fun of some of the lore that wasn't from him, like the voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
Where you'll have characters reading like Voodoo for Dummies to do stuff and things like that, where it's like, this is kind of a thing that's stuck to it because of the director was Tom Holland, I think, in the first one, right?
Yes.
Not to be confused with Tom Holland.
Exactly.
So, guys, I may be a few seconds behind you. John, did you have an anti-piracy warning at the start of yours? Because I did not skip past that. John?
No, I just got the Universal logo.
Okay. So how far into the credits are you guys?
I just got a David Kirshner production.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm looking at too. All right, cool. I'm somehow in the same spot as you then. Maybe just a couple seconds behind. So, John, what is your background with this franchise? Like, when did you first start watching this, and is this your favorite, like most of us?
This is my favorite, although Curse of Chucky has started to creep up there. And I think the thing that Curse has over this is I like the protagonist more.
That is a special kind of creepy right there.
Yeah. So in my teens, when I first started to get into the slasher genre, I started with Friday. But my dad got a DVD copy of Seed of Chucky, and I watched that, which I thought was hilarious. And then years later, I got my hands on the first one. And so slowly, just over time, I started going through them because I was a fan of Seed of Chucky.
The first movie is a weird one to go back to. Like, I had a bizarre experience when I finally watched that as an adult, because I'd seen it as a teenager, or maybe even a little younger. I think I watched these before I was probably ready for them, and this is kind of my first foray into slasher stuff. And one of the first horror things I saw, and I think I saw Child's Play 1 and 2 like a week or two apart. My dad showed me these. I was probably, 12 maybe. And I remember liking the first one fine and being really impressed with the second one. And like giant step up in quality all over the place, obviously, like storytelling and editing and everything. And I had a rough watch going back to this a few years ago, or going back to the first one. I mean,
yeah, I still like the first one. I don't think it's it's kind of in the middle for me. But I think you need that one for this one because this one is picking up where that left off, and a lot of the character interactions and like the status quo is kind of relying on you knowing what's already happened to Andy.
That's true, but I would almost suggest people just read a plot synopsis and then watch this instead.
Oh,
It's kind of how I feel.
I'm probably
about
more
it.
in the middle. It's like just okay, but it does, I think, kind of suffer from some of the like back and forth between creatives.
That was the big thing I
Like
had
it
with
does
it.
feel watered down.
And I think it drags, but like it obviously does not want to do the mystical stuff. And this is able to kind of move past that and go, okay, that's what we're stuck with, but we're not in origin territory anymore. And so now that we're past the reason all of this is happening, we can just have fun with it. Like there's a tongue in cheekness in this movie that the first one is missing.
well, and I think it helps that Mancini directs this one himself, I believe. Whereas obviously he didn't direct the first one, and I think he's only not directed two of them, the first one and Bride.
This is directed by somebody named John Lafayette.
I was gonna say I don't think he's directing them this early. And does he work on 3? For some reason, I thought he didn't. But I could be wrong about that one.
All of them. Hang on.
Because 3 has like such a fast turnaround from this one. I could be wrong about that, but I thought
he does have a written by credit on 3.
Okay.
See, I always thought he took over directing like immediately after the first one. So
no, I think that comes later.
Yeah,
like I know he does for like the DVD movies.
You're right. He takes over with Seed.
Oh, okay.
So I have not watched this in a long time. I mean, I did a video on this probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago now. And the big thing that's hitting me going back to it right now, rewatching it, because again, we're not prepping for these. John did. John felt the need to do his homework, but Austin and I are not prepping for these.
And didn't even know that Don Mancini didn't direct this one.
Yeah, you just looked at it. But you know what's hitting me real hard? This time, just how much like RoboCop this looks.
Yeah, we even have the old man here.
Exactly. But like cinematography and lighting especially, it's RoboCop.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I've never noticed that director's credit. That's funny.
Get out of here, John. That's a great shot.
Okay, bye.
Through the glass.
Yeah, that was really cool. Well, John, at least you can name a Chucky director. I don't think I could do that with Leprechaun.
You gotta love these late 80s, early 90s electrocution effects. Consistently, it always looks like that, and it always takes me back to my childhood. Everything had that. This is doing a great job of establishing tone right away. Just, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. Like, there's going to be some nice, honest-to-God, creepy stuff in this movie, but right away it's like, we're a horror film, but, like, are you supposed to actually be scared?
Well, we got the blue meanie in that little chair in the background.
Because the thing I remember having going back to 1 was that there was a bit of kind of an almost mean-spiritedness to it. And this I didn't have that with.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can't say that I had that specifically with it.
Well, and I can be a prude when it comes to this stuff, because, like, you guys are slasher people, and I'm not. And so I get a little sensitive to things like, you know, children being chased by murderers in movies. Like, you got to play that a certain way. And I feel like this handles that in, like, I don't know, a cartoony enough way that, like, you know what you're here for, and it doesn't feel like it's you know, doing anything with that except being ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just stuck with the premise it had in the first place.
Yeah, and these first three are definitely more on the horror side of that balance, and then obviously after that we will then go more into the comedy side of that balance.
Yeah.
This
one's
totally, I
probably
feel
the
like,
best.
totally splits the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 3 is trying
one...
to swing back toward the darker horror part of it. And I don't think it succeeds super well. Like, I feel like the trajectory of these movies, except for the fact that I don't think Child's Play 1 is anything like as good as 2, is almost Alien to Aliens to Alien 3.
Yeah,
In that Alien 3 wants to be, like, you know, a little more like dour and serious again, and it just doesn't quite stick the landing. That's what Child's Play 3 is like, at least to my recollection. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's definitely hurt by that comes out. I don't even think a full year after this one. I want to say that one's only like 8 months or something after this.
Oh my god! So you guys aren't gonna know what I'm talking about here, but this guy, I guess playing his dad is
He's like the foster dad, I think.
Yeah, the foster dad.
Yeah.
This is the only other place I've seen this guy is he is a one-off guest star in Star Trek Voyager, and he plays another Q. He's Quinn in that, and it's like top 5 Voyager episodes for me. He's spectacular in that.
Oh, interesting.
The second you said, "Oh my god," I was like, "This guy was definitely in Star Trek."
Yeah, and it would have been 5 years after this. Is also he looks real similar in age.
Oh, okay.
But he's excellent in that, and I'm sure I pointed that out when I reviewed this before, but I forgot he was in this.
It is a bit unfortunate they couldn't get the mom back from the first one. But it does, like, they make the most out of it.
Yeah, and I remember her being okay in this. I mean, this, like, foster mom.
Mm-hmm. No, the foster mom, because I remember, like, I think he's got, like, a sister that he hangs out with. Because I've only seen this once, I should say, and, like, a couple of years ago at this point. So it's not super fresh in my mind. But I remember them having a good dynamic.
You know what they could have done if
Yeah.
they'd gotten that actress back. Her name is not coming to me right away, but like the Star Trek 4 and
Catherine Hicks.
Yeah, Catherine Hicks. Thank you. If they'd gotten her back, they could have done like the Sarah Connor thing in Terminator 2, and they could have had her in like an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Well, because I think they mentioned that's where she is in some kind of a asylum.
Oh, do they?
I could be wrong.
Well, I'm not sure if I want to
was
listen to
kind
you.
of
You didn't
hoping-
even realize that the writer didn't direct it, so.
Well, yeah. No.
Well, I just love
I was
the
kind of
image because there's
hoping
no
they-
good Terminator in this, so it would be Andy breaking his mom out just on his own.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was already
It's like, oh,
thinking.
yeah, Chucky's back. I gotta break my mom out.
I was already thinking Terminator 2 in that this feels like, in some ways, such a different kind of thing. Like it's still a slasher movie, and he's still gonna be chasing after this kid, but like the attitude of it's different, and it's got such a higher production value. But the difference is Terminator is a really good movie, and it's just a different kind of movie than Terminator 2.
Well, we got to see that fully play out this year with that Megan sequel, where the first one's like girl boss Chucky, and then in 2 they're like, oh no, there's an eviler toy. Megan, you have to come back to help us fight it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I if the show hadn't been canceled, I was hoping they'd find some way to bring Andy's mom back for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I assume, because I know
was
someone,
still acting.
and I missed who it was in the chat, was saying that it sucks that that show, got canceled on a cliffhanger. I assume because, like, the way that this franchise is continued, it will continue somewhere. But
I'm hoping we get one more movie to wrap things up, just because
Shining Shot.
you know.
we love Shining Shot.
That was just straight up The Shining. In that hallway. What would be really classy is if they could do one more big screen movie to wrap it all up. because they were direct to video for so long. Like, it'd be kind of neat. Like following up that TV show with like they're gonna whatever that cliffhanger was, they're gonna wrap it up, but in a big screen movie that like 5 people will go to. But it would be pretty cool if they did that.
That's what I was gonna say. Is they'd probably be like, "Oh, we're not putting this in the theater. You want this is like a continuation of like all this stuff. Like it's so like muddled in continuity."
That's what's fun about it.
No, remake it again.
What is she wearing?
No.
I love 1990 as a year. It is so confused culturally. It cannot decide what decade it is. It's wonderful.
Well, the sister looks like she just got home from art school in France. Like, what was she wearing? But it was like a leather version of it. It was very weird.
Yeah, high school in France, but also in the Cosby Show.
Oh God! Now it's really scary.
Stone Gasman, $5 super chat. What's cool about the 1990 Universal releases like this one is we see all the logos they used over the years from the 30s, 40s, 80s in the new one. Yeah, I always really liked that logo. Mm-hmm. Thanks for the super chat. And there's one more Senior Sticks, $2 super chat. John, are you a fan or not of Jared Leto and Tron as art?
The answer to both of those is no.
I love Senior Sticks super chats.
Do you like Tron as art? No.
I don't really like Tron. Like I thought Legacy was okay, but
I learned the other day that Legacy was directed by the guy that did Top Gun Maverick, and that blew my mind. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would also like to see them wrap it up with one more movie, just because one of the things that carries this franchise is Brad Dourif, and he's all but retired at this point.
Yeah, he's just not going to be with us forever.
Yeah.
He at least did say, John, he is retired except for Chucky. He did say that when he retired. So you never know.
Because I like the remake, but I find the weakest part of the remake is Chucky, just because it's such a boring take on the character. So I'm iffy about rebooting it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the like smart home thing with Chucky and that.
I like that a lot too. And I also love the absurdity of there's an evil switch. That made me very happy.
Simpsons joke.
It's so stupid.
Actually, you know what? I didn't even think about that, Cap. But the Nightmare on Elm Street remake also kind of takes from the background of their The Simpsons Nightmare parody, and then the Chucky one does too.
This guy,
that's so weird.
This guy that works for the toy company, is also straight out of RoboCop. Like he's that guy with the glasses from RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. He's the guy where Clarence Boddicker comes in and says, "Bees leave."
Yes. Except he doesn't die, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure he's in the second one. Or does he get killed? I can't remember.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different guy then.
Yeah, you guys are talking about two different guys. You're talking about the guy that makes RoboCop, like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm talking about the guy that works directly for Dick Jones.
Oh yeah, I think that guy's in all 3.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he's
at least
there
in the
second
first
one
2
with the black guy, and I don't know if they're both in the third one. Why does she have a bat phone?
Why can't she?
Because she's not Batman.
You don't know that.
So I remember this foster dad being like horribly unsympathetic to Andy and just wanting him to die the whole time. So he's played by an actor I like, but I remember this character being horrible. Like immediately it's like, oh, it's just a doll. Like, quit bothering me, kid. It's like, you were just told about how traumatic his background is. Like, I get that you're not going to believe that that doll actually came to life, but, like, you're going to have to give that kid a little bit of sympathy because he thinks it did. He's got PTSD, obviously. We got our classic horror suspense where we're waiting for this guy to get there's just something to happen to this guy. Oh my god, there we go. There it is. We were waiting for it. This is the last place you would expect that to happen until we have too many of these kinds of movies. And that's exactly where you would expect that to happen. But I really love that shot of the like above the car with the liquor store sign that we keep cutting back to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
One thing I do appreciate about Bride and Seed is that has my favorite Chucky design, where he's just like stitched together.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Look, he just got his little gun. See, this is already better as well because we're just with Chucky.
Yeah.
Yet again, you're not really taking any of this seriously. Like, in the context of the fiction, like, it's scary for this character, but it's easy for us to sit on the outside of it and go, this is all hilarious. Everything he says is funny. And he ties his hands with jump rope. See, we're already being a lot more creative than in the first movie.
Yeah, I like that we're, playing with other toys here.
Yeah. And John, we're already starting the stitching thing. I forgot about that. He's got like a little over his eyes.
Yeah.
Or is that just what that doll already looks like?
I think it's a little bit of what he already looks like because they rebuilt him from scratch.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought that was stitching, but yes, I remember I realized they built him from scratch, but for a second, I thought that was stitching, and I was wondering why. But it's not. I was just looking at it wrong. I haven't seen this in a while.
The funny thing about
this eyebrows.
The funny thing about these first three is each one ends with Chucky being either blown up or melted or something.
That
and
foster
then the
dad
next is
looks horrifying in that picture.
He's the true villain.
I was gonna say, like, if I'd seen this in the theater, I would probably expect that guy to turn around and be his own villain. That's the real slasher. Look at the look on his face. He just looks like he wants to murder. He looks like he's been murdering the children.
Well, somebody's killing the children.
I think it's Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah, no, Swamp Thing is killing the children.
Swamp Thing is killing the children. This is an incredibly well-shot movie. Like, within this franchise, it gets a lot of credit for that. I don't think, in general, it gets enough credit for just how competently filmed it is, just how good it looks.
Well, especially for, like a first-time director, that's also the main writer of the series.
I mean, the guy that directed this also did write for the first one, so.
Like, this is a really good example of a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, but the people making it are taking the production very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the juxtaposition of that makes it funnier.
Oh, I forgot that it was this one where he kills the other Chucky doll. Or the Tommy doll, I should say.
I was looking to see if this guy directed anything else, and it looks like he only directed a couple other movies after this, but nothing I've heard of.
Makura, why say happily ever after if you're actually planning to finish it tomorrow?
Well, I love it, the image that it's, kind of like ending on a cliffhanger because you're in the middle of the book. It's like an Adam West Batman episode or something where it's like, oh, and they're over like a pit of acid and they all lived happily ever after. We'll continue next week.
Like, I love that we're playing this like he just murdered someone, but that was an inanimate object, and like he's gonna bury it. That's so good. I don't know, John. I get what you were saying earlier about splitting the middle, but I feel like this movie's already really funny.
Well, like compared to where we get, especially by like 4 and 5,
Yeah,
it is definitely
Yeah.
like more splitting the middle.
well, it gets a
Four and
little
five
Once
don't
we
even,
get there,
like,
it's
try to
just
be
like
horror films.
launched into comedy.
yeah, it gets real slapsticky. And I see the later movies like they're fun. I liked them okay while I was watching them. I just see them as like intentionally trashier.
I could see that for Bride and Seed. Bride especially is very influenced by the 90s post Scream. Curse of Chucky is a real well done back to basics Chucky movie. And then Cult is insane.
And it's been too long. They kind of run together. I know whatever the last one I saw was just Bat Stuff Nods. So it probably was that.
It might have been Cult. Was it? Do you remember if it was in an asylum?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's the one
Yeah,
that's in an asylum.
That's Cult.
No, don't smoke the cigarette, kid. Don't go to the dark
don't
side.
eat the wrapper.
Well, I didn't
This
expect
back in a period where you could have a kid smoke a cigarette in your movie.
Well, I was going to say, you could if it was a PSA telling kids not to, and that's how this watches. Like, all of a sudden, it's a very special episode of Child's Play 2.
But now you can, like, barely get people smoking. It's like an automatic R, I think, with, like, some exceptions. I think it depends on studio.
This is a little kid. This is a little kid on drugs.
Any questions? That's Nightmare on Elm Street that does a parody of that Cabin Not Chucky.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Or I didn't remember that. I've seen that, but it's been forever.
Yeah, it's in 6. That's Johnny Depp's cameo in that as he comes on and does that commercial, and then Freddy punches him out.
Yeah, he is very troubled, so maybe you should, take a step back and think about what you say before you say things to him.
Well, I've learned that, like, the best way to fix a troubled child is to just bully them until they're not troubled anymore.
How did this guy get a license to do this? Like, he just does not seem like a very good foster parent. James Egan, the one with Mark Hamill, is the remake. So it's called Child's Play, not to be confused with Child's Play.
Yeah, which comes out of a weird thing with these. I forget. It might happen with 3 or after 3, where it gets bought out by a different company, but that like first company owns the title Child's Play, so that allowed them later on to make a remake of that. Which is why there's certain things that they can't touch when they do that. Which honestly ended up for the better because they just did their own thing.
Roboto says most foster families are horrible. Yeah, I know, but they had such promise. Most of them simply.
I mean, they got a swing,
which I don't understand because that's not easy money, and it's not a lot of money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, there's so many hoops you have to jump through. I don't know how it's worth it in the first place unless you really are trying to help people. Like, as you really care about the kids.
I only know one person that's ever done that.
Say again?
I said I only know one person that's ever even done that. Like, it's not like a thing I've even really come across in my travels.
Our neighbors across the street are foster parents and just started doing that about 6 or 8 months ago, I think.
Do they also bully their children?
No, they seem like they're doing a very good job. But it's like a new couple that eventually wants their own kids, but wanted to foster for a while and help out in that system. And it's like just a really good charitable thing they're doing. And but they were telling us, I had them over for a party a few months ago, and we just barely met them, and they were telling us about just all the baby proofing you have to do and all the crazy hoops you have to jump through, and I was like, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, one of my grandmothers, her brother is a foster child, and like went through like the system, went through like 4 or 5 families before landing there, and that's kind of the only experience I've seen with that.
But yeah, the tension
like,
with how all this is shot is so good. Like, you just keep waiting for something to happen. You just keep waiting for it to come alive. And it's like, it's broad daylight. You know it's not going to yet, but you're just waiting for, like, you know, like signs of something to happen soon.
That's kind of the Chucky formula, and I don't mean that in like a negative way, but like that is kind of, you know, you build the suspense early on of like, okay, when is he going to start moving and doing things? And then obviously by the end he's going off crazy.
Well, and it's weird that it still works because you've already seen him like take a guy out earlier and take another doll out and bury it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's because you're with the kid now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what works about it being a sequel is it's like you know that there's a bomb in the house essentially, but they don't know that there's a bomb in the house.
And it makes it more tense because you want to like yell through the screen and help them, but they can't hear you. It's supposed to be that kind of thing.
No, it's almost that classic Hitchcock example of like the 2 people at a table with the bomb under it, and we can see that it's there, but the characters can't.
Yeah, like I could see an argument that it might have been more effective if the doll came into the house and we didn't actually see Chucky possess it, and so you're wondering if it's going to come alive or not. But I kind of like it this way because again, it's able to like play around with its tone more that way. So like we know we're not supposed to take it too seriously. Like that would be the more serious way to make this movie. And I think it's more entertaining ultimately that it doesn't go that way. Like it really has its cake and eats it too with all that.
Well, and I think what helps with, especially with this one, we're only 30 minutes in and we're already here. They're not dragging it out any longer than it needs to be. And that period that they drag it out gets shorter with each movie until you get to whole Curse. And that one makes you wait a little bit longer, but that's because they're going back to basics.
This kid should be so screwed up by now. Like at the point where another doll comes alive and it's the same personality and he's completely fine. This kid should have he should be going in convulsions and like just losing it. Like he needs to go to an asylum.
Well, no, his foster dad is toughening him up, so he doesn't have those issues. The weirder thing is the sister.
He's shockingly well adjusted, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, the weirder thing is the sister who walks in on him tied up, like all limbs are tied, and it's just like, oh, Andy, why did you do this to yourself?
How could he possibly? Robotters just mentioned that too. How can he possibly do that?
That's physically impossible.
I like the foster sister in this a lot, and it's a shame she didn't come back for any of the sequels.
Set it on fire.
Burn it.
Let it burn.
This goes without saying, but obviously the animatronics are really impressive, and I think it's important to note that this comes out the same year as Ninja Turtles.
Oh
yeah.
And they both have really impressive, believable animatronics.
Yeah, well, and they do a good job here where it's obviously like a mix, where it's like sometimes it'll be like a puppet, sometimes it'll be like a person in a suit. I mean, it helps that he's a doll. Like, you can kind of mess around with that a little bit more from shot to shot. But it's really well done.
It's so inventively made. And just the kind of care that went into just a ridiculous, preposterous movie.
That's what I love about this stuff is you'll get these insane premises, but like they're just making it like a movie. Like
it's okay that it's this stupid because it knows it, and then it somehow wins its way back around and doesn't feel stupid. And doesn't actually feel stupid because it's so smart about the way it's made.
Yeah. Well, and it helps that from the get go, you just have like an antagonist that you like to watch, kill people, do things. Because Chucky is always funny, even in one which is trying to be a more serious movie. I still think he's on the funnier side of the slasher villains.
Part of that is just that Brad Dourif is always awesome. Like even in bad movies, Brad Dourif is awesome.
Brad Dourif is also in Voyager and is really good.
Of course.
I guess 3 episodes. He's in like 3 episodes of Voyager.
Even in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, an atrocious movie, he gives a great performance in it.
And then at the same time, as it's really silly and the premise and a lot of plot points are really stupid, you still care about this kid.
So this teacher here, she's been in a few things that I've seen, but Cap, I don't know if you remember, she's in an episode of Angel. It's the episode where they first meet Dennis.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Yep. Nope, I remember that.
Horrifying episode.
Yep. No, it really is. Phantom Dennis!
But she is also one of the teachers in Donnie Darko.
Oh, yeah. So she just only plays teachers. And
she only plays this very specific kind of teacher. And psychopath moms, apparently.
Thwacked was good word choice there, kid. Good job. Senior Sticks, the funny thing is that it's called The Good Guys. Yes, that's the irony. Oh my god. How could any child write this?
Well, no, it was the doll that did it, Cat.
If I was this kid at this point, I don't mean to get, like, real dark with this, but I would have jumped in front of a bus by now. Like, I cannot live in a world where this is happening to me again, and no one believes me.
I need somebody to, like, supercut it, so you get Cat being like, I'm just really sensitive about, like, kids in horror movies where they're being chased and stuff. If I was this kid, I'd kill myself.
I would just put myself in his shoes.
I mean, fair enough.
Robotters Andy is a survivor. Do you guys think, though, that they're having this kid play it, like, almost a little too innocent? I wonder, like, I wonder if I would just be, like, a little bit gruffer about it, given what he went through the last movie, where he's a kid that's kind of grown up too fast.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it works fine. It's maybe like you maybe would be asking a little too much of like a child actor, depending. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure. But, there's that.
Well, I think he plays it well.
Maybe if he'd been in the foster system a lot longer, he'd be more that way.
Mm-hmm. We probably should have had more of a. Or more than just like a passive like his mom's just not here. We couldn't get the actress back. We maybe could have brought that up more with him.
You kind of get that in 3. I mean, obviously he's older there, but he's more,
I was gonna say they're definitely playing with that idea then, but like he's 20 something and in the army at that point. Like,
oh my god, who that's aggressively
military
turns the light on
like that? Be a teenager.
Oh, is he still a teenager? I've not seen that in 20
years.
That's... I remember
he's in like a military school.
In the army. Is he in a military school?
Military school, yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that on the set, a lot of the like swearing and stuff and Chucky's dialogue was not being yelled in front of this kid. Like, one of the nice things about this sort of premise where you've got a voice actor coming in and doing all of the dialogue later is this kid doesn't have to be subjected to as much of it.
Oh my god.
She's horrible at dodgeball.
I'm very bad at it.
That was a good sting in the score there. That was the place to put that.
I love this shot.
That screaming face was so over the top.
You could have just kicked them.
I don't think they've made us hate this teacher enough.
She did, like, aggressively turn that light on when she walked in the room. I don't know.
It seems like they cast an actress that could make me really hate this teacher. You know, like she should be in the Matilda school or something, but they just didn't go far enough with it. Stone Gassman, the teacher, is the woman who died trying to get off the bus after the driver in Speed. I didn't remember that.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her.
Do you still count as a character actor if you keep playing the same character, though?
She could be a teacher in that scene.
Yeah, she probably is.
I gotta get off this bus to go to my teaching job.
That was a great impression of that woman, Austin.
Thank you. Look, boy, if you don't recognize that it's a toy, I will also lock you up in our creepy basement.
I will also throw you down the stairs like I did this doll.
Yeah, that'll learn you real good. I don't like these, like, stock photos they have hung up. They are psychopaths.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, that's true. The child does need professional help. And you should stop having foster children. He's just so impatient. Like, he was kind of primed for this. Where it's like, okay, this kid's had a really rough, traumatic background.
I also love how they're doing this, like, right next to his bedroom.
I was going to say, that's not a thing you want to say when he could probably hear you. God.
Well, at least he's yelling it.
That was the line that I remember kind of taking it over the top for me, where with that foster dad was like the worst person ever. He's not even our child. I'm like, okay, well, he's still like a kid that's been through this terrible experience, and you're not trying to get in his head at all.
No, if they're being bad like that, just pick them up and shake them until they stop.
I do love the idea that Andy's been here for like a week and has ruined this marriage because Chucky's still after him.
It's kind of interesting to play it that way, where he just resigns himself to, I'm trapped in this like horror formula. Like, I've learned the rules now. I'm never getting away from this doll.
Even if I'm not in a couple sequels, I will later come back for more sequels and a TV show.
He'll always find me as long as I'm a child that, you know, should have toys that look like this and nobody will believe me.
I did appreciate they managed to get the actual original actor back for the show, not just recast again.
Yay,
What, doesn't he come back
proactiveness!
for like the TV movies too? Or at least one of
So
them?
because he's the post-credit stinger of Curse, and then he is in Cult, and then he's in the show.
Oh, that's cool.
Because that was like a big deal. People were like, when Curse came out, everyone was like, "Oh, Andy's back." It's been 20 plus years.
Yeah, that's why I said, even if I leave for a bit, I will come back for more movies and a show. John, you made me explain my joke.
Jokes are always funnier when you explain them.
I didn't mean to.
Look, they had like a cool raptor toy cap.
Ooh.
I think that's what that was. I don't know. It was in the dark.
I want one of those. If that is indeed what it was. But yeah, I love that this kid
could be wrong.
is finally trying to be this proactive, and he's like, I'm gonna go take care of this myself. I'm gonna be the slasher. It's not gonna work out, but
I could. Maybe Andy kills Chucky here, and then is just happy for the rest of the movie.
Well, if he kills Chucky
here,
then the foster dad comes after him the rest of the movie. That's where it's going.
Oh yeah, this is actually a secret remake of The Shining. The back half is just going to be.
This isn't a James Wan movie, John.
Oh, that's why they did that. That's why they did that foreshadowing shot with the hallway, John, to let you know that The Shining is coming.
No, he'll kill Chucky in this scene, and then it's happily ever after, and we'll finish the movie later.
Perfect.
Remember, if you're dumb enough to put Chucky in a clothes dryer, you're really all wet.
Now, I'm not saying this kid's being especially smart about this. The first thing I would do is turn on some lights.
He's probably too small to be able
to
get
a flashlight.
Okay, that, yeah. I was wondering that too. Makira says, why does their basement look like it has a bunch of Indiana Jones artifacts?
She collects antiques, I guess. And then doesn't display them anywhere. She just throws them in the basement.
Puts them in the creepy basement.
Roboto says dad is clearly a collector. I think it's her. I think she's the collector.
Well, then he hates the collection. He's like, put that in the basement.
Yes, Wade, we're watching the movie right now. That's how we do these.
That's right.
That's why there's a clock on the screen so you can line up your movie with this. So we can't play the movie on the screen. You get away with that on YouTube for about 3 minutes. And then you're done. Oh my god. You know what I want, Austin? I want Chucky versus Maximum Overdrive.
Why? That's so specific. What is Chucky gonna do in that situation? He's so small. He would just die.
Well, if you think about it,
Chucky hit by a car.
Well, Chucky basically belongs with all of that stuff because he's an inanimate object that's brought to life like the rest of them. So I would make it a thing where somehow the stupid asteroid or whatever it is that makes Maximum Overdrive happen also makes Chucky come to life.
Oh no, my beloved character is dead.
But yes, I don't know what exactly Chucky would do with that. I don't know if he would try to align himself with the with all the appliances that have come to life.
Well, I thought you said specifically like a versus movie, like it's Chucky versus.
Yeah, I said versus at first, and then I thought about it.
Honestly, I can't remember in that slew of versus movies that I think you and I have talked about before. Was there a Chucky one?
Yeah, Chucky versus Leprechaun.
Okay. The one that I remember is Leprechaun versus Candyman, because what?
Yeah, Leprechaun versus Candyman is insane. But there's kind of a reference to it in the remake, because they have the 3 doll models, and one of them is a little leprechaun.
You know, I forgot that he died there, and I'm absolutely shocked. He should have been the slasher for the last half an hour, and he's already dead.
That's heartbreaking. I loved that man. He brought in kids through the goodness of his heart.
I loved that impatient foster parent that doesn't understand PTSD. I loved that guy.
Well, you know, if we were still calling it shell shock, maybe Andy would have gotten some help.
Now, I will say, at least they didn't go as far as to make him physically abusive. Because that would just be such a downer at that point. Like, you can't make this any fun at all if you went that far. You could see almost like a James the Giant Peach sort of opening where he's with the foster family already and this dad is horrible to him and he's beating the crap out of him every day, and then Chucky shows up. You're like, wow.
See, that's a versus I want to see is Chucky versus James the Giant Peach. He's climbing up the beach and he's like, I'm gonna get you, James.
And then he just murders those horrible women.
Yeah, and he's like, what the hell's going on? They're flying a giant apricot through the sky.
Perfect.
That'd be a great movie.
It's so good.
What is it that's like in the sky, the cloud? It's like a rhino, I think,
rhino.
in it. Yeah, rhino. Chucky fights the rhino cloud.
That movie has like the most insane opening status quo of all time, where a rhino in the clouds eats his parents.
Oh, it's so weird.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when then Chucky comes and fights the rhino cloud?
No, I love that. That's amazing.
All of the cinematography is really thoughtful in this. Like, we're always putting the camera in a place to make the child seem even smaller. We're getting in his head, and he feels vulnerable and innocent, and the thing that is after him is even smaller than he is. That's how small he feels. But you notice that, like, we're always either above him or like kind of right under him, but like looking up at him in a way where he seems kind of pathetic, not in like a place where he's dominating.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd watched this ahead of time, I could have thought this through, but it's a thought I'm having right now.
Well, and this, of course, is the scene in every slasher movie where they find the other bodies.
This really made an impression on me when I was a kid. Just the way the scene is shot.
Mm-hmm. There's quite a bit of good shadow work in this movie.
Yeah, I always remembered that. But yeah, I love the way we're playing this like a dead body.
Horror films, I could see what's happening.
Yeah. I just saw the Black Phone too. I literally just walked out of it around when we started.
Was it terrible?
And that is some of the worst night shooting. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. But
no.
that is some really bad night shooting.
You could actually see what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Child's Play 2, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I also like that this is not the kind of horror movie we're going to have to hear her yell one person's name 5,000 times.
Oh, so you would love the Friday the 13th movies?
Dude, Poltergeist 3 is like that. It's like, Carol Ann times 155.
Like 60% of the runtime of the full Friday the 13th series is just name yelling.
I love that he managed to turn himself around in that trash can, get the lid off, get out of the trash can, and put the lid back without her hearing a thing.
Yeah, she's really just very deaf.
Okay, this place has antiques in the living room.
Yeah, because one of the first things that Chucky does to get Andy in trouble is break that statue that they talked about.
It's not all in the basement.
No, the basement's just the leftovers.
Well, it's antiques, in the main house, and then in the basement's all the Indiana Jones treasures.
Mikura says EVP Requiem is a movie no one has seen, but some have technically listened to.
That's not true. Austin is the one person on the planet that can see what's happening in that movie.
What, did you just turn your contrast up as far as it would go?
The second Cap mentioned it, I'm like, okay, how long is it going to take for John to say that? Because I know it's coming.
I just like stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was a kid when that came out, so I watched it a lot. And I know it's going down.
The ominous sewing machine, that's classic. Classic.
Chucky loves biting it like at the neck and ear in this movie.
Yeah, he's a biter.
Especially for a guy that would barely have teeth because he's a toy.
I realize they've got a lot of
that
antiques in this house, but it's really funny that she's got this old ceremonial knife.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to the first one, because the first thing he does when the mom figures it out is bites her, and that's how she part of how she convinces the cop, because she's got bite marks.
Oh yeah. This girl is giving a very convincing performance for this kind of movie.
No, she's great, and I kind of wish this was the last Andy movie for a while, and either she's the lead of the next one, or just the next one is where we just start with a new cast.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
Or you just made a third one focusing on the two of them.
Yeah. Because 3 is weird in that nobody wants to... It feels like nobody wanted to make that movie, and it's really not important in the greater lore of this franchise.
Well, Halloween has that in the Thorn trilogy, where 4 has the sister dynamic that works really well in that, and then in 5 they kill off the one sister, immediately. And it's like, oh, now you got nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I like the idea of Chucky attaching himself to somebody older so that he doesn't have to keep, pretending to be a doll. Because, of course, he hates this body that he's embodying and would want to, have somebody, treat him like the person he was before.
Well, and that's what I like about Bride and Seed, is because that still has the same basic plot of him trying to get out of the doll body, but in that one he's going after adults, because in the first movie it's only Andy, because that he just happened to end up at Andy's, and told him the secret. That's why it's weird in 3 he's going after a kid again. It's just a different kid.
Well, yeah, because the basic concept of this is, what if your beloved doll was evil and tried to kill you?
Yeah.
So you have to contrive a way for the main character to be a kid.
Well, but that's why I think it's weird, is because we stopped doing it right after that.
But I was
which is a misstep in 3, but then after that they're mostly about the dolls. The dolls become the main characters.
Right. But yeah, I was the idea early on here anyway that he sees this as really humiliating and demeaning, and so he makes the most of it when he's killing people, but he's almost embarrassed about it.
He has a character arc, Cap. He's embarrassed by being a doll, but then by Seed, he's embraced it and he wants to stay the doll.
Would Chucky be strong enough to break through the windshield?
That always bothered me.
Yeah, the idea is that he has the strength of a full-grown man.
No, I know, it's just a funny image, like just him flying through.
Well, I can't remember. Does the first movie explain why he bleeds?
Yeah, it's like the more he's in the doll body, he's like slowly deteriorating and becoming human.
Oh, that's
so right. Like that's part of why it's like that's the ticking time bomb of I gotta get into this kid.
Stone Gaspin, Chucky is so misogynistic. I mean, that's supposed to be. He's just supposed to be completely hateful. Like, there's no redeeming qualities to this guy whatsoever.
No, that's the only bad thing he ever did.
Well, the real
besides the hypocrisy,
the real problem was the hypocrisy. You beat me by 5 seconds.
You're right.
Damn it.
The murder is fine.
I was on my way.
Scheming.
Hayden Spring, I'm surprised Austin doesn't like Chucky more. He loves midgets.
Yeah, but in Leprechaun, I get all midgets, baby. No dolls or puppets.
That's why you like Howard the Duck, because it's always a midget.
And in Leprechaun 4, he becomes giant, so you have a giant midget, and he's like stomping around. It's awesome.
I also don't know.
It's
if
a non sequitur.
Like
you can't say giant midget.
Huh?
I don't know if you would like Bride and Seed. You'd probably
I've seen Bride with you.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember how many we watched.
Yeah, I've only seen up to Bride.
Did you like Bride? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I think 2 is kind of the only one that I like really thought was really good, and then 1 was just kind of okay.
Because I know you.
And
don't
then I
like
the remake. Fine. Well, and I'm weird because I also hate when a lot of these franchises become just straight comedies. But then I also like Sleepaway Camp 2. So explain that one. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah. It's that hypocrisy, Austin.
Exactly. It's my biggest crime.
You know, another thing this has in common with RoboCop is it's an hour and a half again. It's got that perfect 3-act structure where it gets in and gets out. And another way that it's like Terminator 2 is they both end in a big factory fight.
And I love the third act of this movie. The big factory fight in this, I think, is one of the best in the genre.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That was the big thing, of course, that impressed me when I was a kid. But
that's
I could
the big
never
thing you have to do when it's a toy. Yeah, if
perfect.
You never end up in a toy factory in your franchise, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're missing a huge opportunity if you don't do that. Like it's the obvious thing to do, like in the right way, and then I like the way it's foreshadowed at the start when we're at the toy company.
Hayden said 3 is the only one in this franchise he doesn't like at all. That's where I'm at.
I'm almost curious to see it again though, just because it's been so long.
The best scene in that movie is when the dad from Hellraiser shows up and tries to give Chucky a haircut.
What?
Is 3 the one where there's like the giant pyre thing that they have the climax on? It's like a giant like tower looking thing. And there's like a ride that goes around it or something.
Yes, because that's how he gets sliced in. They're like in an amusement park or something.
Okay.
And that's how he gets all sliced up so that Jennifer Tilly has to stitch him back together in 4.
I love that Chucky's hair is all messed up right now. See, he needs a haircut.
Tom Atkins says the Toy Factory set piece was supposed to be in the first movie. You get that. I feel like you get that a lot, where it's something they just didn't have the time or budget to do in the first one, so they find a way to make it work in the second one.
1 also gets like heavily ridden too. So that also doesn't surprise me in that. But I think I've heard that before.
So you know what that's like, Austin? It's Superman spinning the world backwards.
Oh, we're supposed to be in 2, but then ends up in 1.
I guess it's the opposite. I guess they flip it, or then
yeah.
It's that but reversed.
They should have just gone full Donner cut and just that's the climax of the first movie, and then we just replay that footage.
Just do it again.
They just play the last 20 minutes of the first movie at the end of this. It's like, wait a minute, like that's not the sister, it's the mom from the first one.
They do a cliffhanger where like 3 other toys get possessed by demon or by spirits or whatever, and then come out of the factory. Oh no, they're coming!
Also, this has one of my favorite. The original poster for this is one of my favorites of all time, where he's standing behind the Jack in the Box with a pair of scissors.
Does Chucky have 5 fingers? Because it's way funnier if he flips the bird and he's only got 4 fingers.
Oh, now that you said that, I'm not sure.
We gotta look real close and see how many digits he's got. Oh man, this is the era for the Ford Taurus, man. My first car was a 1989 Ford Taurus.
Did you get it specifically because you're like, I love Child's Play 2?
No, it was cheap.
Ah.
That was really good line reading. That's up there with he stole that guy's pizzas.
I'm surprised.
What a good establishing shot. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Austin Brazin.
No, I was going to say, I'm surprised that a car as seen in Child's Play 2 was a cheap car to buy. Should have jacked up the price based off that.
Well, maybe not a decade later. Like I didn't have it in 1989. I was 5.
Well, and you couldn't have had an 89 based on this because it wasn't out in 89.
What?
What?
Wait,
did you say this car had 90?
No, I said my first car was an 89 Taurus.
No, I know.
He was saying you couldn't have had it.
Had it based on this movie. Because it's a year before.
If you got an 89.
He does have 5 fingers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what make that was. Like, it wasn't necessarily a brand new one. You know, like...
Oh my god, Gozer is coming.
Yeah, he's doing the incantation thing again.
And Austin,
and are you the gatekeeper?
Because I forget how late this franchise comes out. It's interesting that this franchise did so well, considering it's on the tail end. Like, slashers are kind of on their way out.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's also part of that nightmare thing where you can only squeeze through the door if you have some sort of like creative gimmick.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, he's a toy. So like that's like the kind of hook that like allows you to slip through.
And Brad Dourif is so good at this stuff.
Wade says
Brad Dourif's good at everything.
Wade says I just realized that newspaper truck guy is from Spider-Man 2. Is that actually the same guy? Because he like reminded me of him, but I don't know if it's actually that guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's amazing if it is.
And I love that Chucky actually succeeds. Like he is able in terms of he's able to cast the spell, but it's too late and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is the start of Don Mancini being like, "Yeah, the voodoo thing's stupid," but I'm stuck with it.
Freaking out.
One I can't remember, is he gonna like hide himself in one of these boxes or something? It's been too long since I've seen this, but it seems like the obvious thing to do is like you've got all of these Chucky dolls everywhere, and so he's gonna use them for camouflage. But they just fall on him.
I love his delivery there.
Well, it's crazy too, because Jessica Walter was like the voice in the first movie, and then I think like last second they get Durf to do it.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
don't
that.
think he was like available or something to do the voiceover.
Oh,
Just like
crazy.
also like a mess editing that movie too.
There is a slight
Yeah, I
missed
can't-
opportunity when all the boxes fall on him, though. Like, I love the push-in where he freaks out and jumps out and throws all the boxes, but you need that shot where the arm comes up, right?
Yeah.
They should have
Well, no,
had...
he burst out like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 when Doc Ock throws them into the wall.
No, that's true.
It also for a second turned into the Shining hedge maze, but with these toys.
Oh, that's true. No, in Spider-Man 2, isn't that when he throws the car at him for no good reason?
Yeah, but then after he picks Peter up and then he throws him into the wall and he's like covered in debris and then he bursts
He loses
out.
his mind. Yeah. No, that's true. But I would have liked to have had the shot where his hand comes up first. Yeah, I like how we play this like a demented playground.
Yeah. We're just having fun.
Why didn't they set a climax in one of these films on a playground?
Oh, that'd be good. Or in a Chuck
That'd
E.
be great.
Cheese.
That's what, yeah, or like
Yeah.
a McDonald's play place.
Yeah, just have a really big like ball pit with all the climbing equipment.
Oh my god, can you imagine? It's like Jaws. The kid's like swimming through the ball pit, and then like Chucky's like knife or something is like the shark fin going through the ball pit. That'd be awesome.
Somebody needs to make a haunted house that's this.
I don't play the game anymore, and Austin's never really been interested. But Austin, I don't know if you know this. Chucky is in Dead by Daylight. I really want to see how that plays.
Yeah, do they like make him bigger, like to fit the scale of that?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Wait, is that true, Hayden? That season 3 is set in the White House?
Yes.
yeah.
What?
I haven't
Yeah.
seen season 3 yet, but no, that was their big thing.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
Chucky like takes the it's Chucky takes the White House.
Okay, I have to watch that. That's amazing.
Cap, that'll be our next 12-hour streams, the Chucky show.
I might draw the line there.
Would that even be
Man,
12 hours for a season?
No, because they're half an hour.
That's what I was thinking.
No,
I thought they were. Are they an hour?
They're an hour.
Oh, I thought they were half an hour.
'Cause I've never seen it, so I don't know.
And I only saw the pilot, so I'm just remembering it wrong.
I think I just assumed it was like
Yeah.
Ash versus the Evil Dead, where it's half an hour.
So, Austin, this was the bit I could not deal with when I was 12 and I saw this, was the thing that comes down and puts the eyes in the guy. Like, ugh, that still bothers me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hasn't even happened yet, and I'm already bothered by it. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know, Bubsy. Maybe everything?
I love the
Oh,
imagery of him with the knife for a hand. I want that action figure.
I'm sure they made it. I'm sure that's like
Oh, sure.
on a Chucky figure, like a thing that comes with it is a replaceable hand.
now he's got a knife hand. I forgot all about that. I love how... I guess we didn't exactly contrive this, because of course we had the rules from the last movie where he's turning more into a person, but it feels like all of that is contrived just so we can have more blood, and so that he can actually feel something, and for things to, like, really hurt.
Yeah, I can see that. But some of that I think is why you need the first movie, because that goes more into it.
No, that is fair. That's the one thing where I feel like if you got to this and you hadn't seen that first movie, you'd be lost, because you're like, why is he bleeding now?
Yeah.
And I like the evolution of that because earlier in the movie we're having fun with the fact that he's just a doll and he can't feel pain, and then now everything is more real. And it's still not taking itself too seriously, and we're still having a ton of fun with this whole playground thing, but the stakes feel bigger.
No,
and it all feels more dangerous.
He's vulnerable so that we can have like a cool climax, but he can also do insane things like ripping his own hand off.
But it is nice that comes from a place, and we know what the rules are, and that like over time this was always going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't feel horribly contrived. It's not like he did the spell and magically, like he had to do some kind of a spell that magically gave him that. Like the spell didn't work.
Yeah.
This really holds up.
No, it's great.
Yay! He's got the Total Recall eyes.
Oh no! Oh, you're a little bit ahead of me.
Okay.
Oh no, no! Oh my god.
That's great.
Okay, I will say it's cartoonier than I remembered it. It's easier to look at than I remember it. The idea is worse than what you're actually looking at. Man, I wish we'd set one of these at a Chuck E. Cheese.
That should have been like the Jaws 3, where that takes place at SeaWorld.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, just do a... Yeah, wow. I don't know why SeaWorld was like, that's a good tie-in.
That's a special kind of creepy.
That one...
Who's got that plot?
That one looks like something
Who's got that
Toy
prop?
Story.
Somebody kept that prop.
Oh, yeah.
With the like hodgepodge doll. Somebody kept that.
It's like the Thing doll. It's just a prank, Andy. Stop.
I love that he's trapped by tags. That's great. Slasher Fred, I remember when this movie used to air on cable and they had some added scenes, like the one where the good guy assistant, Mattson, like the guy who reminded me of RoboCop, is revealed to be married because he contacts his wife before his lover. Oh, that's good. You got to come up with new reasons for us to hate these characters.
Well, at least he contacted his wife before his lover. He could have just not contacted his wife.
What would have been great is if the last thing he ever said to his wife was, "Honey, there's someone else." Ah!
He's
Honey,
all
I
messed
blew
up.
up our marriage.
Yeah, Robotters, that is a great one-liner when he says, "I was only playing." It's like, how could he possibly think that kid would believe him? Wade, do you guys own an actual Chucky doll? I've never done that because I don't collect horror stuff. That is one of the few things I would consider getting though, if I was going to get horror stuff.
I just don't have room for stuff like that. If I did, I'd want one of those and like a Jason figure. And
you know what I do have though, John? I have an angel puppet.
Oh, that might be my favorite episode of that show.
I do have one of those.
Hayden says the progression of the Chucky series is really funny to him. 1 is Chicago, this is the suburbs, 3 is military school, Bride is a messed up road trip, Seed is meta and in Hollywood, Curse is a haunted house movie, and Cult is insane. And then the show goes from a town to Catholic school and then the White House. Yeah, Chucky's been everywhere.
But never a Chuck E. Cheese or a McDonald's play place.
No, and it's right there. He's Chucky.
I'm honestly kind of shocked they didn't do that in Seed of Chucky.
Well, I think it's a hilarious happy accident that you get Chucky before, I believe before Chuck E. Cheese, because before Chuck E. Cheese it was Showbiz Pizza, and I don't think you had a mouse called Chucky yet. I'm not totally sure about that, but I imagine there were probably at least some kids that would go to Chuck E. Cheese that were even more creeped out by the animatronic mouse because that was his name.
I just want to hear Brad Dourif scream Charles Entertainment Cheese and then punching out Chuck E. Cheese.
It would have been amazing if Brad Dourif also did the Chuck E. Cheese mouse.
Oh no.
Just to scare children. Charles Entertainment Cheese.
That's his full name.
I know, I forgot about that.
And then, Cap, I don't know if you know this, but the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt is actually made from like an old Chucky doll. They have, or at least parts of it. And if you look, they have the same eyes because of that.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. But with this transformation here, you can kind of see it.
But yeah, I think it's one of the dolls from the first one, so it's probably one of the burned ones.
Probably, yeah.
I like that before he explodes, he turns into an honest god monster, where it's like you're seeing Chucky's real face, kind of. Because the first movie, he just gets like lit on fire and.
Yeah.
I think it's like shot. I think he has like a couple of fake out deaths in one, like he does here.
Yeah, he gets burned. I think he gets his head blown off.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot that his head straight up exploded in this. And that's a great shot, too. You gotta love the good guy doll waving at you right after you watch Chucky's head explode. It's brilliant. And then it just gets out. Like, it's just like RoboCop. And we're done.
Chucky's dead. Bye. See you in 6 months.
Does the third one come out real soon after this?
Yeah, like I said, I don't even think it's a full year. Let me see.
So wait, that's also exactly like Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, because Child's Play 3 is 91.
And this was 90. That's exactly like Ninja Turtles. Because Ninja Turtles was 99 to 91 also.
You get that a lot with, especially in like with slashers. Because like Friday the 13th was coming out every year for a while.
Yeah, but you think,
but they're normally at least a year. So I did look it up. It's 9 months.
You'd think this would take a little longer.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but then Turtles had a lot more animatronics, and they rushed that second one out.
Hayden says 3 came out 7 minutes after 2.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. No, it really is the Son of Kong.
Roboto says the ending score is top notch. That whole soundtrack is great.
Yeah.
Well, we might have done the best movie I picked first. Maybe not. I mean, I've got 28 Days Later in there, which I like a lot. And yeah, we've got The Ring. No, I picked good stuff.
I was like, everything I picked is trash.
No, I'm just thinking this is probably the most fun we'll have with anything I picked. And I also
didn't know for sure which ones you picked. I thought for sure Austin had picked The Ring.
No, that was me.
No, there's Cap.
Oh, cool.
I had like a profound experience with that movie in the theater. That came out when I was working at a theater, and that was a real special movie for me because it was like the first time I remember really being kind of scared in the theater, or one of the first, because I also saw 28 Days Later in the theater when it came out. And I can't remember which came first, but they were both around that same time. They were both when I was working at the theater. And I probably would have never seen them if I hadn't been working at a theater at the time, because it was just saw a lot of free movies. I just went to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Austin, you got to show him The Ring versus The Grudge.
That is a great one. I also love Rings, the like horrible soft reboot Ring movie they made. a couple of years ago. That has the greatest plot ever for like a trashy sequel to The Ring, which is they find out that there's a director's cut basically of the Ring tape, and they're like, "Oh, we got to figure out what these new extra scenes are."
I started watching that at one point and I never finished it. I think I got 10 minutes in, maybe.
That is a movie you have to watch with people. That's not one you can
Oh,
just sit down and watch.
okay. John, what else are you gonna come back for, man?
Let me.
I mean, I don't know what you got time to do, but
Yeah, because if I have time, I'd like to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and maybe 28 Days Later.
yeah.
I'd have to look at the schedule again to be sure, though.
Well, I hope you can do Texas Chainsaw because that's a movie that I know nothing about, and you guys have both seen, and that'll help me pad out the commentary.
That's this Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Cell's gonna be really interesting because I picked that, but I haven't seen it in like 20 years.
I've never seen that.
I
don't really know much about that.
Looking at the schedule real quick because I don't remember what's on what days. So we've got.
The Cell is Thursday.
Oh, The Cell is this week. Cool. That's Thursday.
Yeah.
And so Little
Yeah,
Shop
because I
is
originally
tomorrow.
had it flipped, and then you asked me to flip The Cell to Thursday as opposed to today.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks for doing that. I'm glad we did that because we had John. But yeah, so Wednesday is the only day that we'll have earlier show this weekend, next week because it's our regular schedule. So just so everybody knows, come for 7 o'clock tomorrow if you want to watch the show tomorrow because it won't be 10, it'll be 7 Central, and then we'll do the same thing next week. And so Little Shop is tomorrow. Next Wednesday will be 28 Days Later earlier. And
yeah,
then,
we have really funny Wednesdays, and that we have a fun musical tomorrow, and then maybe the roughest movie we have.
probably the darkest, roughest, arguably
Something
scariest.
Like I mean, The Ring traumatized me as a kid, so like that takes the cake for me. But that's like personal.
Me too, but I don't know if it's scary now. That's my worry because I haven't seen it in so long. Like I don't know if I'll be scared by it now. Like if it holds up.
I think there's still some unsettling stuff in that.
Yeah, her coming out of the TV is still like.
Well, that's exciting.
I can at least sit through it now, but
I might turn even more lights off when we watch that.
Yeah,
I might set it up where I just have like a flashlight under my face or something, and just even turn.
And one thing I have to give that movie props for is I think it's the only one of those remakes that I think is better than the original.
Yeah, people debate that all the time.
One, I think it's the only good remake of those 2000s Japanese American remakes.
Yeah, probably. I've only seen that, The Grudge, which I didn't like.
The Grudge is rough. And it's probably like the second best.
Oh, no.
John, maybe one of these days we can come back and talk about more Child's Play. Because I'd like to revisit the later ones because I haven't seen them in a long time and I've only seen them once. If I've seen them all. Because I'm still not totally sure about Bride. I'm still not sure I've seen that.
Yeah, no, that would be fun. Like I said, it is my second favorite slasher franchise, and part of what I like about it is just the ongoing continuity. Even if I don't think it ever really retcons itself. I think maybe 3 has to do a little bit because 2 does kind of feel like a definitive ending, like you could just end it there. But
we have to keep contriving a way to bring that spirit back.
Yeah. But Chucky gets married, he has kids.
Becomes president.
Oh, Mercure, I forgot Brian Cox was in The Ring. Well, that's exciting. Yep. Everybody knows how much I love Brian Cox.
And then in Rings, he's recast with D'Onofrio.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, nobody talks about the second movie.
I like D'Onofrio, but... That's blasphemy, though. Is he recast or is it a different character?
Well, I don't know if it's technically a sequel. But so I don't know. But he is the same character. I'm not sure if it's like a full reboot or if it is technically the third movie. I don't know.
Stone Gassman, I've got to confer with Austin about what version of Little Shop we're doing tomorrow, and so I'll post. I'll do a post in the middle of the day tomorrow to let everybody know which one you should pull up, because Austin wants to see which of them is most available for people. What
I assume
about it?
I assume it's probably the theatrical cut, but the director's cut is better. So I'll see. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, Dan, that's true, because Brian Cox was because X2 was also that same year, so he had a crazy run for a couple of years there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, everybody, thanks a lot for watching. John, I hope you're able to make it back for at least one more of these.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
And we will see you guys again tomorrow night. Thanks a lot for watching live. Thanks for watching after the fact if you did that. And we will see you again real soon. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Oh, I think Roboter says they were asking if we're watching the original or the remake. We're watching the remake, the musical one.
Yes, but there are different cuts of that even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Just if you haven't seen Child's Play 2, watch it because it's a great movie. That's all I got.
If you just listen to us talk over it for an hour and a half, watch the film. See you later, folks. Bye, everybody.